Hello everybody, Dragon here with another episode of Dark Souls 2. You might notice a few things different here about my character. For one, he's no longer as green as a cucumber, or, you know, hollowed, and he's no longer hollowed is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, there was a small problem with the whole recording thingamajig. Like, basically what happened is I lost the boss fight, so I had to recreate this entire character, as well as find a bit more of a stable recording style. So I did it, and hopefully this video should be coming true. Regardless, last time we walked around and chatted with most of the people in, in Majula there. We still have to talk with Kale in the basement, but enough jibba jabba, quite literally. I say it's time we move on and made some progress in the game itself, not just in our social lives. So instead, we're gonna head on down through these sewers and actually, wait, no, I wanted to have this have a bit more impact, because, I mean, where could these sewers possibly go? Well, ultimately, our goal is... you can't see from here. I gotta go all the way back to the obelisk. I did not plan this episode out very well. Oh well. 'Tis the way of the dragon. We just do what we want whenever we please, and filthy humans try and get in the way and end up dying horribly. And anyways, you might notice that over there we got some ruins, and you might be thinking to yourself, you might be thinking to yourself, Lee, you're really bad at holding L1. That's true. You might also be thinking to yourself, man, I wish I could go over there. Look at that tower. It's all bright and flamey and stuff. And that's where we're headed. So, let's see how many trials and tribulations we have to go to before we go to that magnificent ruin over there. Because it looks like a rather far walk, doesn't it? I mean, there's got to be at least an area between here and there, right? Well, let's go to it. Get it through, get it taken care of, and be on our way. Regardless, I did recreate this character. I have a Fire-Long Sword +4, so I don't know if that's any different, but regardless, I have recreated this character with basically everything I have before. Most importantly, the hat. The hat is most importantly, but I mean, soul levels and level arrangements are still the exact same, even though when I was going back for it, I looked at my 12 decks and was like, why? Anyways, that's not important. I'm sure there's some reason later on, we'll see. Having higher decks just helps in general. And over here, don't miss this chest. Actually, you can go ahead and miss it, don't worry. Just keep running, man. It's not... What is in here? It's a metal lockbox. It's gotta be good, right? Crimson Parma. Oh, man. That sounds fantastic. I gotta take a look at this thing. No, this thing is terrible and worthless. Don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. Seriously, just pick up the Silver Eagle Kite Shield. You'll be set for quite some time. Anyways... Let's keep on pushing through here. We opened up that water gate. That gate right there will close as soon as we go back on it. Basically, it's just there to mask a loading screen, so, you know. And it's not closing. Come on. Look, I'm not going to just accept to be proven wrong here. I could have sworn it closed after some time. Regardless, I guess it doesn't. But it will close anytime you rest at a bonfire, so, Boom. I told you it closed after some time. Anyways, but yeah, that's the thing right there. Basically, anytime you rest that bonfire closes as well, it's there to mask a loading screen. By the way, we're here. Yeah, this. You've probably heard numerous times that the world of Dark Souls 2 is a wee bit more disconnected than the other worlds. A wee bit. But trust me, this is far from the worst offense. Oh, don't worry. There are plenty. There's one moment in this game that everybody raves about, and I will rave about it too. Not rant, just rave, because it's real silly. Ultimately, the disconnectedness of this world doesn't really bug me that much. So long as the levels themselves are interconnected, I'm fine with it, and they are. Either way, you can see over there's the obelisk. It's a little bit closer. I don't know. I mean, the flow of time in Lower Dran is distorted, so maybe the flow of space in Drangleic is distorted, you know. Bit of a backfire there. I forgot to give the frickin' Maiden in Green my Estus Flask Shard. Damn it. Alright, whatever. We need to go back to there anyway after we kill Mr. Mace Dude over here. I call him Mace Windu because he uses a mace and he wins against the noobs. So, there's that. Very annoying enemy. He's got a large HP pool. That mace will hit you like a fucking truck. And he can hit really fast with that mace sometimes. Thankfully, he's being real nice today, so I was able to kill him without incident. And we get Sublime Bone Dust from him, which is really awesome. Either way over here, Charred Ashen Bones. Cast them into the far fire in Majula to increase the HP restored with each use of your flask. They say these are the remains of a saint who cast himself into the bonfire, but we will never know for sure, for soot and ashes tell no story. Well, evidently these do. But yeah, there's a few things you can assume from there. Some people might immediately jump at like I did and be like, chosen undead, that's the chosen undead stuff. And it could be. It could be. But bear in mind that if you fulfilled Soler's quest, it's very, very likely that he would have thrown himself into the bonfire as well. So it's very likely that it could be Soler's as well, so Sun Bros get hype. But bear in mind there was another saint who, or quote-unquote saint, who cast himself into the fire to preserve the Age of Fire. And, you know, his name was Gwyn. So, you know, it's very possible that they're Gwyn, especially as we learn more about this area and why that knight would even have that Sublime Bone Dust. That's a guaranteed drop, by the way. And he's the only one that gives it, and he doesn't respawn, so don't even try it. But yes, it's very likely. Personally, I believe that that's actually Gwyn, but you never know. We'll see. I mean, there's that reason. Another reason is that some of the lore in this game seems to behave as though the chosen undead failed in the original Dark Souls. There's only one bit of lore that behaves like that, but definitely it's... Again, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But anyways, over here, a lot of people who've played this room, or who've played this game, are gonna look at this room and be like, yes, Ginger gets to suffer just as we once did. Ah, no, I'm gonna kick this room's ass. Just watch. This room is a joke if you know what you're doing. Thankfully, I learned how to handle this room very, very quickly when I played this game my first time. Also, should we know that these greatsword dudes have a lot less HP than the rest of the old knights. By the way, that's what these guys are called. But anyways, after you kill this guy, these guys will immediately aggro on you. And some people are just gonna be like, the knights, they're attacking. I better back through that door again, otherwise I'll die. Don't. Stand your ground in this room. Just run a few laps, you know? Give it some time. And if you stay in this room, should be known, if you leave this room, they will follow you to the ends of the bloody earth. They have a huge lease range. But if you stay in this room and do not physically attack these knights, they'll just go back. Something I don't see a whole lot of people showing, and I think it's actually pretty cool. It helps, definitely a bit of a boon to the new not-so-good players in this game. But yes, it's very nice that they do that. I'm not even gonna lie. You can just die. There we go. And he'll just stay over there and wait patiently for his imminent demise. But first, I want to go this way. So, let's go this way. Sounds like a pretty solid plan to me. And down here, we have Mr. Old Knight with the Great Sword number 2. And he's ready to kick some ass. Thankfully, ready in the sense of psychological. He's actually not very ready in terms of, you know, combat stance. Regardless, he's dead. And that makes my life so much easier. Over here, what do we got? We're gonna pop open this chest, and we got some green stamina blossoms. Of course, you use them, and they increase your stamina recovery rate, so that's nice. Over here, there's an NPC summoner. I wonder what this message says. Try jumping. Sure, why not? And over here, we have Masterless Glencore. Uses Zweihander as well as the Heide Knight sets. Some type of shield. I'm not sure what that is. And the Hollow Soldier Helm. So, you know. He really doesn't have much of a master. He uses stuff that you find all over the damn game. He's basically a player, except he's not. He's an NPC. Not interesting. Again, for this playthrough, I'm only going to be summoning interesting NPCs. Unfortunately, Masterless Glencore, while certainly a badass, not quite interesting. Also, storyline important NPCs. So let's go, and we get Dragonrider. I forgot to pull the lever. Oops. Well, right, anyways, you'll probably notice, I did forget to explain it, but back there, after I killed that one Heide Knight, Heide Knight, Old Knight, they're the same bloody thing. It raised this stuff. I do remember at least showing that, but yeah. There's 2 levers you can pull. Each one of them will raise a layer of this boss, which will make him less likely to shove you off the edge. Unfortunately, it'll also make it less likely that you will shove him off the edge. Because there is a quick kill you can do with this boss. I guarantee you'll see it in almost any speedrun you watch. Or, hell, even a few high-level playthroughs, you'll probably see it. But yes, you can... Well, the first time you see him, he'll almost assuredly do that charge attack, which, well, you do that at the right time, he'll just walk himself right off the edge. So that'll make life more interesting. Regardless, there are 2 levers you can pull. The other one was in that large cylindrical room, so if you killed all 3 of those old knights, that lever would have arisen. And that was bad. And allowed you to fight this guy without any chance of either of you falling off. Thankfully, while you can't necessarily get the quick kill on this guy, you don't need the quick kill on this guy. Probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. You don't even, I mean, hell, you don't even really need adaptability to avoid most of his attacks. Just good timing. Oop. And a good shield helps as well. Again, Silver Eagle Kite shield, more than adequate. More than adequate for this boss. Either way, let's just go all in. There we go. You're dead. And he's done. We get the Dragonrider soul. And with Mr. Oh, come on. Friggin' bumpers work with me, man. Over here, soul of a Dragonrider who faithfully served King Vendrick. Long ago, the Dragonriders mounted worms and were feared on the battlefield for their unparalleled strength. Unfortunately, without their worms, they really aren't that dangerous. So, there's that. Either way, let's see what we find by doing this. What does he say? I did it! You did it. Congratulations. Alright. Let's head on up here, light this bonfire, not rest at it, just light it. Because I do need to do some backtracking. I'll pop a life gem. 21, baby. Magic number, blackjack. That's not a case anymore.
Are you from these parts?
Nope.
My name is Licia. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple.
Uh-huh.
I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power. But the cost of it, that's for your heart to decide.
Alright. Well, let's talk a bit more, because personally, I'm not interested in miracles. Sorry.
I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles.
Yeah, there are, you know, like 80% of the population is now hollowed, maybe more, you know. So there's that.
Why did I come here?
I mean, to be fair, then again, hollows do use miracles, because they're scumbags.
Do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles?
Sounded kind of shady.
My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish.
Alright, well, let's talk a bit more.
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home. It is... well, I must do this. And being out here all alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings-on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could gull the...
What?
Sorry. Help the gullible by teaching the good word.
Right, well, let's see what she's got. She sells you a Cleric Sacred Chime, but you can get one of those for free in Majula, so don't waste your damn money. Over here, she also sells numerous miracles, which you'll probably be interested in. She sells Med Heal, which is actually really cool. I assume it's supposed to be Medium Heal, but anyways. Also, Great Heal Excerpt, but that only has one use. Med Heal, I find, is pretty nice, pretty adequate. She sells Replenishment, which is a worthless, don't even waste your time with that spell. Force, I mean, meh. Lightning Spear is the big one, though. If you're playing a Faith character, you're definitely going to want to pick this up. You're also going to want to pick this up before a certain point in the game, because in case you can't tell, Licia's got a little bit of a dark side.
No need for miracles. The gods frown upon such soul scrimpers.
Can it, woman? Don't worry, we'll be seeing more of Licia later. But, for now, you know, she just wants to spread the art of miracles. You know, whatever she says, I'll believe her. Mindlessly. And we've actually got a summon sign. You might think, wait a second, that's not a phantom summon sign. Or that's not a shade summon sign. Well, in case you can't tell, you know, there were two paths to take, and that other path will lead us to another boss. By the way, if I recall correctly, you can summon Glencore for the other boss in this area as well, so... hey, if you're having a hard time with him, then go for it. Thankfully, I will not be having a hard time with him, because, well, contrary to what many people would think, dragons are actually very, very effective against the type of enemy we're going to be fighting as this type of boss. Contrary to numerous things. Either way, this guy's gonna just offer his behind to me and die. And yeah, if you kill all three of these guys, which you can still do by doing the circular walking trick, then pull the lever. You pull this one, and you can kind of see it over here. You can't see it too well, but there we go. The final layer will open. And you are now going to be almost completely immune, aside from those like 4 windows over there, to falling off the side of the boss. So, you know. Again, really it's only necessary to pull the first one, as you saw, but if you're having a really, really bad time with Lady Gravity, uh-oh, he's aggroed. I don't know why, sometimes that old knight over there will only aggro, or will just stand by and defend the entrance. Other times, he'll just kind of fucking go for it. Regardless, oh god! He got really freaking aggro there at the last second. Stabby. Let's keep using my intelligence. I am a caster, contrary to how I've been acting for the rest of this playthrough. Oh, I've reached their leash range. Generally, a good sign that you've reached an enemy's leash range is that they just pull up their shield and kind of walk away. Ooh, that was a bit close. Uh-oh, he's going for it. He missed. Whoop. All right, time to stop being a coward. Go for it. Yes, the nice thing about these guys is their swings are terrible. Again, those old knights, or the normal old knights, the ones with the shields. They are. I was fighting them with. Or let's face it, you can easily fight them without a shield and without rolling. They're really, really bad at tracking. Don't get used to that, because they're the only enemy in this game that doesn't track well. But they are not very good. You just, oh god, careful there. You can just kind of slip behind them, and that's it. And at that point, you're basically safe from almost all their swings. Keep a fair distance, and they'll either swing over you or not even swing at you, which is always nice. You know what? Fuck it, I'll demonstrate over here. I won't even use my damn shield. Let's do this. I won't roll, I won't use my shield. Let's do this, man. Okay, I rolled. I'm sorry, I lied. Don't, damn it, I can do this. There we go. Now just slip behind him. There we go. And he's dead. Easy as a 1, 2, 3. How much durability does my sword have? Because it's not that good. 25 out of 60. I should be good for fighting this boss. We'll see if I have to pop, you know what, I'll put it on the hotbar just in case. I'd rather not have to use a repair powder because they're ridiculously scarce in this game. Again, durability, I'd be, you know, ultimately, as much as I hate it, I would be fine with it if at least the repair powders weren't as scarce as they were, but they're very scarce in this game. Ridiculously scarce in this game. Over here we get Ring of Binding. This is huge. Grab this. Absolutely grab this. Because if you do grab it, well, let's take a look at it. I've seen so many people miss this, and I have no idea how they even pull it off. But, pull off missing it, that is. But, over here. Limits HP reduction when hollow. It halves it. An unusual ring of unknown origin. Limits the wearer's HP reduction when hollow. Alas, this ring will not make you human. What is lost is not easily retrieved. So, again, it won't make you human, but it will have the effect of the hollowing. So, basically, you'll lose half the amount of HP per death, and you'll only go down to 75%. And, of course, if you're down to 50% health, then you can just pop on that ring, and suddenly you got 75% health. There you go. Not that bad. Or, not that bad. It's actually fantastic. I like it. It's a good ring. Good, powerful ring. And so many people I've seen playing this game have missed it, and it sucks for them. Over here, we got old Dragonslayer. You may have been thinking, hey, these enemies look familiar, and this architecture looks familiar. Well, this boss looks a bit familiar, doesn't it? Yes, it's, welcome to, well, whatever. I'll just focus on this guy. Bear in mind, this is the first boss in this game that has one, but this guy has a grab attack. And, well, it's a pretty rough one, too, because his grab attack, well, God, this guy really likes the butt slams. Not quite as effective as it was way back when. Also, no fatty, which is always nice. Oh! Stab me in the butt. Oh, God, there's a hair in my tongue. Fucking hell. Ah! Oh! Stop it! It's still in! Okay, okay, we're good. Mouth is clear of all debris. Let's kick his butt. I have no idea how that even got there. Come on, buddy. But yes, we'll see if he actually ends up using it. But his grab attack, by the way, all grab attacks in this game will completely ignore your shield. So bear that in mind. Even attacks that involve them stabbing you will ignore your shield, which is kind of... I can understand most grabbing attacks going through your shield because, you know, you get grabbed by a giant monster, you're not going to block that. But one where you get stabbed, alright, FromSoft, come on, we're getting a bit sketchy here. Either way, this guy, he has an attack. which he is not going to be using, evidently. You know what? Let's stabby. Oh, shit, the stabby failed! Ha! I like this guy's music, though. Oh, here it is. Pretty sure it's a grab attack. Also, bear in mind that that attack is magnetic. Or his grab attack has a slightly bigger hitbox than you would expect. So bear that in mind, too. Because, I mean, I had it where, I literally saw my character get sucked in by the grab attack. It was like, you what, mate? That's not how science works. I don't know, I guess, Ornstein's not really using his lightning attacks anymore, so I guess he instead invested in a magnetic spear. Which, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it works sometimes. When they're just, like, mere pixels outside of the hitbox range. Either way. Go on, buddy. Alright, going for the one combo. Come on, buddy. And that's... Oh, yeah, there's the grab attack right there. You can tell because when he's got that grab attack, his defense frickin' skyrockets, which is very common in this game. So just use that for some... Ow. Okay, let's not lose this. There we go. So yeah, use that to restore some stamina, restore some HP, hell, maybe both. Regardless, old Dragonslayer's dead. So there's a big question there. Is that actually Ornstein? Good question. I don't know. It's the best way I can answer that. Basically, that's the nice thing about Dark Souls lore, you know, is it Ornstein? Is it not? There's lots of room for interpretation there. It could just be another knight in the Order of Dragonslayers, or I don't know, could be someone trying to replicate him. Let's take a look at his soul. The old Dragonslayer is reminiscent of a certain knight that appears in old legends. That's it. That's all you get. But we also did get the old Leo ring, which the beloved ring of a dragon-slaying knight strengthens thrust weapon counterattacks. After many years of use, the ring's face is worn down, but close inspection reveals an engraved lion. So again, the main thing for me that proves that that actually is Ornstein is that ring. Because if I recall correctly, the Hornet ring, the Wolf ring, the Lion ring, and the Hawk ring were only granted by Gwyn to his top 4 knights. So, and another thing you'll notice is in that fight he was using dark magic, as I sort of pointed out to make a joke about a magnetic spear, but basically, personally, when it comes to the old Dragonslayer, I think that it is Ornstein, but corrupted by the Abyss in the same way that Artorias was. Regardless, in case you can't tell, this is very likely, if not Anor Londo, a small fragment of Anor Londo. The knights, the architecture, the old Dragonslayer, the sublime bone dust, it all points to this being either Anor Londo itself. I don't think it is Anor Londo, just it doesn't look like it properly. But either an outpost or, you know, definitely from the same culture.
Transient being. You have obtained proof you are worthy of joining our order. You may call yourself one of us, and are free to plant your roots in this garden of the gods. Be proud. I, Targray, do proclaim from this day you are a Knight of the Blue.
Yeah!
Rejoice and bask in your new honor.
Well, it's a lot better than the Way of Blue, so let's do it.
You are no longer a mere vagabond. You are now a guardian, a Knight of the Blue. Proud Knight, take this.
We get the Guardian Steel from him, which is the Covenant ring.
And shine light upon stone. Then you will hear the voices of the Blue Apostles. Listen for their cries of help, and repel the malicious invaders.
Don't bother with this side of the Covenant. It's not worth your time.
The Knights of the Blue, the way they elevate themselves to a higher plane. I'll provide what you need. You may visit me at any time.
And if you're playing as a Faith character, you may want to visit him immediately.
Knight, you may come to me, Targray, for help.
Did I say Faith? I meant Faith character. If I didn't say that. Regardless, over here we get dual bow gesture. Very important for online play. Very. It's like the ultimate courtesy gesture. And right here he tells emit force, which many of you may recall being a ridiculously hard to dodge PvP spell. So there's that. Also, just pretty good in general. Over here we also have Heavenly Thunder, which is basically Firestorm, except Lightning Elemental. So there's that. Scholars bicker over whether this is the original lightning spear or a derivative. One can never gain full control of the power of the gods, but with a little favor from Lady Luck, the spell will destroy your foes. Or some good manipulation of the level, cause the lightning will only spawn in areas the players can walk on, so if you're in a very, very thin area, shit's gonna get real. Either way, we'll talk with him a bit more.
We Knights of the Blue must rely upon one another.
Because he's got some more information regarding the
to achieve
Covenant.
our greater goal. Present your token of fidelity to test your strength against other knights. Proud knight, never.
Alright, yeah, that's about it.
Work.
He doesn't say anything very interesting. He's just kind of there looking like a badass and letting you into the Blue Knights. So, of course, Knights of Blue, you may recall, you know, being from the playtest, that they were a covenant entirely dependent on, or not entirely, but, you know, their entire purpose in this game was to, well, it says it here on the ring he gave me, which, by the way, every single covenant in this game has a ring. They have varying effects. But right here, join this covenant and wear this ring to be automatically summoned to the worlds of blue apostles who have been invaded by dark spirits. And the ring is engraved with the crest of the wave blue, symbolizing the dignified oath to protect each world's master from dark spirits. Thankfully, or rather not thankfully, that will never happen. Because, well, the invasions in this game are borked. I've only been invaded twice in this game. One of them, well, both, actually, yeah, no, only one of them I was in the Wave Blue for. And well, wait, was I in the Wave Blue for that? No, I wasn't even part of a Covenant at that point. But yeah, the invasions in this game really are not very often. That shadow makes my sword look really weird. Alright, anyways, let's get going here. You might notice we also found a great shield over there, which 30 strength shield, really, really good. Of course, it's a great shield, so it's got, I think it's got 70 stability, 100% physical block. So, you know, again, pretty bloody good weapon. Either way, we're gonna go back to Heide's Tower of Flame, to the Tower of Flame itself, and we got about 3 minutes left in this episode. Let's keep going. I'll make this video a bit longer since the next area is a little bit of a bore, I'm gonna be honest. But we're gonna go Heide's Tower of Flame. That's right, that's what I want to talk about. I just remembered another theory, is that is the actual Ornstein, and the Ornstein you fought in Lordran is not actually the real Ornstein, because for those of you who recall, Guinevere, of course, you know, in Dark Souls 1 was not actually Guinevere, you know. She was a relic, or not a relic, but a, what's it called? An illusion created by Gwendolyn to try and make it seem like, you know, there was more order in Anor Londo than there actually was. And, what's it called? Guinevere ran off with, like, some god of flame or something like that, if I recall correctly. And it's very possible that, well, we're in Heide's Tower of Flame, aren't we? Or Heide's Tower of Flame, whatever you want to call it. We're in a Tower of Flame, so it seems very possible that this is where Guinevere fled to. And Ornstein, of course, was one of the knights tasked with defending her. So perhaps Ornstein saw through Gwendolyn's illusion and, well, followed Guinevere to Drangleic. But of course, that would also imply that Drangleic is not Lordran, even though it is. So again, maybe it's like a different part of Drangleic they're in or something. Again, there's so many things. It's friggin' Dark Souls lore. Lots of implications, lots of things to take. We got the old knight halberd in there, which I'll go on ahead and take a look at that. It's a halberd again, so pretty difficult to use, but also pretty bloody good. Also takes 20 dex. An undated halberd, wielded by a warrior from a time so ancient that there exists no record of his endeavors, has extremely low durability. So yeah, again, those old knights, again, very likely that they're the giants from Anor Londo. Either way, welcome to fan service the area, as I like to call it from time to time. At least that's, I shouldn't say welcome, we're not in Heide's Tower of Flame anymore, really. We're in some kind of a limbo here between this area and another. And this area is a little drawn out, I'm gonna be honest. You just go through here, you kill a couple of old knights in some very, very narrow corridors. And that's really about it. Nothing too exciting. Just kill them all in one volley of your sword. And over here's I'm trying to remember if there's anything at the other end of the hallway. If there is, it's not important, so fuck it. I've been making this playthrough a bit like a walkthrough, but fuck it, we're ignoring that for now. I don't like the it's a transitional area, and it's so obvious it's a transitional area. Anyways. I don't know, maybe it's just because I've played the game so many times, this area is just boring. Regardless, I've no doubt that half these messages are be wary of illusory wall, especially this one. Yep. Yup. Freaking called it. And we're under the sea now, so that's pretty exciting. You know, we took an elevator on an area that was already technically beneath sea level. So that's awesome. I wonder what kind of sweet underwater city we're gonna find ourselves in. Oh man, I'm so excited. Alright, just recover the stamina because these guys are the worst at tracking. I'd imagine that since he's in water, but the fire damage on the sword is almost completely ignored, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, up here, this is something that is interesting and important. Oh, also should note that I did buy the Elite Knight set, although I found out that it makes me fat roll, so that's no bueno. But the Elite Knight set is slightly different from the Knight set, which we pick up here, in that the Knight set focuses more on defense, and the Elite Knight set focuses more on poise. So basically, the Elite Knight set is way better in literally every single respect still. But hey, at least the Knight set has some benefit over the Elite Knight set now. Just saying. Regardless, thankfully we're almost out of this. Area, and now that we've stepped below sea level and have taken an elevator beneath sea level, we are now entering an underwater cave. Notice this huge emphasis on underwater I'm putting in here. We are so far under the sea level at this point that, man, we're actually at sea level. Yeah, again, geography in this game, world interconnectedness was not in FromSoft's mind, quite clearly. Alright, how's it going, Lucatiel?
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you?
Nope. Just as determined as ever.
The longer I'm here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place, indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation?
Perhaps the country is inflicted with the curse. Just saying, seems likely.
This is for you.
Oh shit, sorry about that. Thank you.
Of course, I have no idea what it is.
It's something you need badly.
Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies and constantly at war. There is only one way up in Mirror. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself. With two things, my sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here to...
Without really knowing why.
Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again.
Nope.
One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here.
More like the help with the human effigies, but same thing, really.
True. I can only hope that they are.
Look at you should really have kept that human effigy. You're kinda hollowing here. Like, I speak with her enough and her mask comes off.
I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weary these days.
Either way, that's all of her dialogue here, so I'm gonna go ahead and light this bonfire. And I guess I'll end this episode here, so be sure to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time in the underwater at sea level cavern of No Man's Wharf.